Everyone goes to Pizza Joe's, and you've heard that friendly slogan for many years, and it's just as true today as it was when you first heard it. Watch the game right here on NCTV45, and then head over to Pizza Joe's. Pizza Joe's provided a grant for this podcast, and they have many great locations: State Street, Highland Avenue, Croton, and Shenango. It's your local pizza place. Everyone goes to Pizza Joe's. It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle for fine gifts and more. Flowers 724-652-7727 or toll free from anywhere 1-800-443-7726. It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle.
Hey guys, keep watching NCTV45 for Cooking the Castle. You're going to love it.
We have a great relationship with Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle at 210 East Washington Street. And whenever you watch Focus NC, my wardrobe is furnished by Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors.
From the NCTV45 studios in downtown Newcastle, it's Focus NC with Gary West.
Well, thank you very much. Welcome to segment 3 of Focus NC with our topic, the Marcellus Shale and the natural gas drilling of the Marcellus Shale. And thanks to our sponsors, Pizza Joe's at 4 Newcastle locations, and also Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle, and Butts Flowers also in downtown Newcastle. My guest is John Laughner from Penn State Cooperative Extension. Welcome back, John.
Hello, Gary.
And we've been having some real interesting conversation about the Marcellus Shale and the drilling that's going on here in Lawrence County and the surrounding counties. And we're going to pick up where we left off. John, tell us a little bit about the holdout landowners. They're asking the state of Pennsylvania to declare the forced pooling. They're declaring that the forced pooling violates the state constitution.
Gary, and this goes back to a relatively old law, about 1984, I think, that the forced pooling, and there are lots of names for it, fair pooling, forced pooling, depending on where you're at in the conversation, that would say that if there are a percentage, the majority of landowners have agreed to lease their land for natural gas drilling, but I'm in this middle of this group and with property, and I decided I don't want to lease my land, then this law says that if you are you have to be below the Marcellus Shale. So it's below the Onondaga layer, limestone layer. But if you're at that layer or below, the Conservation Act of 1984 says that I, as the holdout landowner, must submit my property to drilling activity. I'm in the minority. Everyone else around has said, yes, we want to lease, but I'm holding out. I don't want to lease my land for whatever reasons, but the forced pooling in this law would push me into having my property included in this property to be drilled. Not necessarily on my land, but under my land. Now, I'll get compensated. The law allows me to get compensated for it. But, you know, if I am philosophically opposed to it, or I just don't agree with the activity, you can, and that's the issue in Pulaski Township that we see in the news quite often today with the hearings on this, because the Hill Corporation is the first company in Pennsylvania that has taken this law and said, we'd like to see it applied.
I know that this is an ongoing litigation, so nothing has been settled. Is there a time frame on it?
You know, that's a good question. I'm sure all parties involved would like to know the answer to that, because there have been hearings, they've been delayed hearings, so it's an ongoing discussion.
What is the Penn State Educational Consortium?
Gary, it's a group made up of Penn State researchers and others at the university in a collaborative agreement with area businesses to help, or businesses involved in the natural gas industry, to expand the education not only to residents, but also to help entrepreneurs, to help small businesses develop and being able to offer services to the natural gas industry.
What types of seminars are going on that you know of locally that you could tell us about?
Gary, we've kind of moved past a lot of the leasing kinds of educational seminars. Some experts will tell you, to your point about pipelines, that we will have 25,000 to 30,000, 35,000 miles of pipeline still to build in Pennsylvania. We have a lot of pipeline activity in Lawrence County. We've done some educational seminars about pipelines, how to look at a contract for pipelines, but also how about the financial aspect of it. And for those landowners that have received this considerable sum of money for leasing property, what are some of the pitfalls? What are some of the things you need to do to fully, financially handle that money? And so we've done some financial seminars as well. Pipelines, though, because of all the activity in the state, in Lawrence County, have really received the focus of our attention in the last year or so.
Now, so many different aspects to this industry and all the drilling going on with Marcellus Shale, natural gas drilling. I want to briefly talk about the Utica Shale, which is underneath the Marcellus Shale. What's going on with that?
Gary, the Utica Shale is also part of that stacked play of shales. It is about 7,000 or 8,000 feet, so it's below us. It's a couple thousand feet below the Marcellus. Again, a shale layer that we've known, or geologists have known, there was natural gas in it, but because it was deeper, it was more expensive to drill to, so the Marcellus got the first attention. But the Utica, in various places in Pennsylvania, also holds those natural gas liquids that the Marcellus holds to the south of us. So when we drop down into Beaver, Washington, Greene County, the Marcellus not only produces natural gas, it produces those valuable natural gas liquids. We have found that the Utica, drilling deeper, also in many cases yields those natural gas liquids along with the natural gas.
Yeah, so see, it's not just natural gas. Other elements are involved as well. We're running out of time in segment. Let me ask our producer, how much time we have left in segment 3? Okay, we're just about out of time. But real quick, John, if you will, what kind of negative aspects to the drilling?
Well, I guess I would argue that if you drive again up 376, you'll see pipelines being installed. There's a lot of environmental impacts on our land, and they will last for a long time. There are concerns about air emissions. There are concerns about leaks from a gas well. A cow rubbed up against a valve on a well site in North Dakota, and air, the cow didn't mean to do this, let a bunch of liquids fall onto the ground. So there are those kinds of, now the industry gets smarter all the time because of these infrequent things that happen. So now we have cow-proof valves. Who thought? Who knew we needed cow-proof valves? Yeah. But those are the kinds of one-offs that we're discovering. But it's the environmental impacts, whether it's land, air, that I think most of us focus on when we look at those negatives that occur. And there are impacts to our communities, roads also that go along with that.
Well, John, I wish we had more time. It's always a pleasure talking to you about this subject. Before you leave, how do people get a hold of you or Penn State Cooperative Extension to ask questions about this topic?
Thank you for asking. Penn State Extension has an office in every county. So if you look at the phone directory or Google Penn State Extension, you'll find your local office. We have one right here in Newcastle. It's in the courthouse. So you can walk into the courthouse if you want some expert advice on a myriad of subjects, not only natural gas, and get that fulfilled.
John, thank you very much for enlightening us on this very important subject. And that's it for Focus NC Segment 3. Make sure you tune in for Segments 1 and 2. And I'm Gary West for NCTV45.
Gary's Wardrobe, furnished by Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors, 210 East Washington Street, Newcastle.
It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle for fine gifts and more. Flowers 724-652-7727 or toll free from anywhere 1-800-443-7726. It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle. It's Little Johnny's Pizza 2 in downtown Newcastle with a great variety menu that you will tell everybody about. Chris Quiera, the owner's here with more information.
Stop down and see us at Little Johnny's 2. We're located at 130 East Washington Street, or give us a call at 724-657-2210.